option for someone to go crazy.
Yeah, that's also right. Yes, exactly.
There's no human element,
yeah.
Which is a real element.
Yeah. No, look, I think it's going to be common to have like Mach 5 jet drones within a few years, and they'll be a fraction of the size of the current manned planes, which means you can have like a lot more of them. And so you kind of want to imagine, 1,000 of these things like coming over the horizon right at you. And it really changes. It's actually, I think, going to be very interesting. It really changes the fundamental equation of war in the following sense. Fundamentally, in the past, the people who won wars are the people who had the most men and the most material.
Right.
So you just needed the most soldiers and you needed the most equipment. And in this drone world that we're talking about, it's going to be the people with the most money and the best technology.
Yeah.
Right. And so, for example, small states, small advanced states like Singapore will be able to punch way above their weight. And then kind of large, sort of economically or technologically backward states that normally would have won will now lose. And so it's going to be a recalibration. And then it has the good news is you're not putting soldiers at risk, right? So you'll have a lot less death. But the bad news, arguably, is it'll be easier to get into conflicts because you're not putting soldiers at risk. So there's going to have to be a recalibration of like when you actually like lean into an attack.
I'm sure you're aware of all this UAP disclosure jazz that you see on television. The more I look into it, the more I think at least a percentage of it, a healthy percentage of it, is bullshit. And there's probably some government projects where they've developed some very sophisticated propulsion systems that they've applied to drones, and that's what these people are seeing. And this is one of the reasons why they continually have sightings over secured military spaces, like out in the eastern seaboard. Like there's areas over Virginia where they continually see them. In San Diego, they see them off the coast of San Diego, where there's a place where you would test stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, so of course, we know that was the case for a very long time, for sure, from the 50s through the 80s, because the development of stealth was highly classified, and the SR-71 was brand new at one point, and so you had these alien.
Do you pay attention to any of that stuff?
Of course, 100%. Yeah, and then by the way, we're not the only ones, and so I my speculation would be that some of the military-based stuff is the Chinese doing something similar.
Yes,
and we got a glimpse into that with the balloon.
That thing was goofy, though.
They got shut down. But still, the fact that the Chinese are flying surveillance balloons over American territory and they were able to slip through our early warning systems and just loiter above military bases and take lots of, imagery and do whatever scans they do.
Yeah.
And literally nothing was happening and we didn't even know they were there most of the time. And so I would just say that's like a tip of the ice. It feels like a tip of the iceberg kind of thing where if they were doing that, there are probably other things going on.
Well,